Okay, so today we're going to do something a little bit different, which is looking at other people's short films. And you might think, well, who are you to judge? And I might say, well, who are you? Just knocked over my fucking razors. But I'm really just going to address this as the audience. I might offer some technical insights, some stuff that I think, but at the end of the day, I'm just a guy on the internet. So take my opinion with a pinch of salt. So today the first film is going to be Accident by a man called Giuseppe Abba. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, but let's get straight into it. So first thing, I have seen this film before, and one thing I will say straight away is that we have this kind of very real, very natural look to the footage. You know, nothing is too high contrast. We are all filming outdoors in daytime. It's very natural, very realistic, and it really serves the story because we're very grounded in reality. And once you experience the full story of this film, it's very clear that this could have been and hopefully was a conscious choice, and it works really well. I think making this, you know, very cinematic wouldn't really serve the purpose of the story. It's a very real situation that we're going to find ourselves in. And here we have the spinning wheel of death, which you might experience on your Mac computer, but in real life I guess you would relate this to Stephen King's It, with the pushed over tricycle representing death. So we see this spinning wheel of death followed by a car engine. We don't have to hear a crash, we don't have to hear anything like that. It's already implied just by sound design and a quick stationary visual. We know what's happened. Also by the title being called Accident, maybe it gave us a bit of a heads up. Maybe we could have gone with a bit more of an obscure title. But that's not even a suggestion. Ignore I said that. Nice pan around shot there, nothing too over the top. Again, we're keeping this firmly planted in reality, but we can see at this point we're going into a moment in time. We're going from the witness and the causer, I guess, of the crash into his thoughts. And maybe I'm revealing a bit of the story right now, but if you haven't seen it, the link is in the description.
Going fast enough, were you? Nothing to say? You mute as well as blind?
What? I'm not blind. I don't think I was speeding either.
So what then? Did you aim for me? Did you?
No, of course not. I just didn't see you. You pulled out from behind that van. You didn't look first.
Really? That's what you're going with, is it? My fault?
I think out of the two, and having seen a bit of the progression of this conversation, I think the woman is the slightly stronger actor here. I also think, which I've experienced in my own short films, is that the pacing could be a tiny bit slower. Usually when I'm watching other people's films, I would say the opposite, and the pacing needs to be quicker. We're spending too much time on this, but I think because we know what situation we're in, because this is, and I don't want to sound negative, but this is quite a predictable kind of script, which is not a bad thing, as it's all about the execution. I think we could really spend some time here experimenting what you can do in showing emotions. That's what I would say. I think some of this, not that it's you know, breakneck pace, but I think it could definitely be slowed down.
What van? I don't see a van.
There, that... I'm sorry. Look, I'm really, really sorry. Obviously, I'll pay you for a new bike. Are you alright? Do you want to go to hospital? Do you need an ambulance?
You think a hospital can fix me, do you?
I also like, which I only really realised on the second watch, is I'm sure that they are either with makeup or in post desaturating her face, kind of making it look a bit more dead. And now I'm revealing, a major plot in the story. But again, if you haven't seen it, links in the description below. But I really like how they're doing this slowly, so that we're kind of gathering clues as to what's happening to this person, and we're really in the driver's head. So nice way of, I guess, executing the story here, and it shows a bit more thought than just shooting and then okay, we see the person dead. It's a nice bit of, it lets me know that you thought about the film, and that makes me happy to watch, if that makes sense. That I'm glad you care about it enough so I care about it a bit more. Does that make sense?
I think we're way past that.
No, you're all right. I mean, look, you're standing up. There's nothing wrong with your legs. That's good. So it's like cuts and bruises. You'll be fine. Here, let me help you get out of the road.
Nice little trick there. I'd want to know which way the cyclist went. Did she go left, right, or down? I don't know which one you would have tried. Maybe let me know. Or was this some crazy effect in post? But I'm sure it would be much easier to have her just run away. And here we go, this is the realisation. We hear some little bits of noise from other people, and I just spoke over it there, but there is a line I really liked from a child that I don't think we can see, but it says, will she wake up in a minute? I thought that was a nice touch. Maybe it could have been a tiny bit more up in the mix, but I'm being extremely picky there. Really nice line in the script. And then I guess this part is what I really wanted to talk about. So I'm sure we're all already aware of this, but someone who died maybe 30 seconds ago, or even a few minutes ago, doesn't quite look as dead as this. This is very much rigor mortis is set in. There's kind of a swelling and shine to the face. This implies been dead for quite a long time. And again, I'm being very, very picky here. Maybe your makeup artist just really wanted to prove a point. We can do makeup. We can't just do cuts and bruises. So, and I can accept that. It didn't take me out of it. It was like, yeah, okay, dead. I know she's dead. So, okay. So my overall thoughts on this film, because this is where it ends. Great, I think. Great job. And the one word that springs to mind about the person that made this is competent. I think the script, fairly basic. Not that that's a negative thing. I think executed well. And just to touch on that as well, in terms of the script being basic, in short films you kind of are stuck between a rock and a hard place. You've got a few minutes to really get a story from A to B. You can't go exploring really high concept things in that amount of time. So there's what's said about that. Yeah, competence is really what this screams. I think you didn't do anything too flashy. You done exactly what served the story. And that's not a negative thing. Obviously, it shows that, okay, if someone gave you a project, you can execute it. And there was no point in this film where I was confused about what was happening, or I wasn't feeling anything that you didn't want us to feel. So, great job there. Could there have been more creative things in there? I don't know, because I think because you chose to say it's so grounded in reality, it doesn't need anything more creative in there. All I would say about that is there isn't, I guess, a a mark that you left on your film. Like, obviously I couldn't see that this was a Giuseppe Abba production, but I don't think you get to that stage until much, much later. But competent is a great thing you want to be if you want to get hired for things. So that's awesome. Yeah, all in all, I would say this is a strong short film. Yeah, does its job, and I wish you the best of luck in the future.